So, Tommy Sotomayor versus Kevin Samuels, coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logical Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it, as always. So, you may or may not be familiar with either of these gentlemen, but I'm a huge fan of both. A huge fan. I was first a fan of Tommy. I first saw Tommy about his first video in 2017, and he was, in that video, he was saying all the stuff about black people that I had been saying for years. I mean, just about everything I say, that the problem isn't racism and white supremacy. The problem is that what we do to ourselves, and the evidence is clear, it's glaring. Unfortunately, so many blacks refuse to see this. But he's been on the internet for about 10 plus years, so he's been on the internet a while, and he's like one of the people, the pioneers who's been out there for a long time now. And his message is basically mostly a message of, how can I say, it's a general of subjects he covered, but if you listen to his show, his videos, mostly he holds black people accountable. It's kind of like me, He points out what we as blacks are doing to ourselves, what we are doing wrong. But then again, he covers a lot of a whole variety of topics. Plus, he also has his own fans. Now, Kevin Samuels, he hasn't been on the internet for that long. He hasn't been on YouTube that long. However, he's been on the YouTube more than long enough to make an impact. He's an image consultant, and he deals with a lot of the topics of black people going into corporate America, not just black people, but people in general. How do you make it in corporate America? How do you ascend? What your appearance should look like? That's pretty much his message. And he also holds black people accountable, especially black women. Now, one of the things that he's known for, I would say two things that he's known for, is that epic video that he uploaded entitled, You're Average at Best, in which he's trying to explain to this like female, hey, you need to be realistic about what you can attract as far as men go, because looks do matter to men. And of course, he got a lot of flack from that. And he's also known for his even more epic video of him calling into that Fit and Fresh podcast. And he basically ripped that female. I guess her name was Amanda, but he ripped her a new one. And of course, he's growing in popularity, and there's a reason why. Now, this wasn't even much of a feud between the two, because really it was just Tommy, and he made a rant in the video claiming that Kevin Samuels was taking his material. And if you know Tommy, he often says that people take stuff from him, and to a certain degree, I would agree with him, but I have to disagree with Tommy on this one, because if you look at both of these guys, a lot of the material, a lot of things that they say are going to overlap, because when you have people speaking the truth on a certain topic, there's going to be a lot of overlap. They're going to say the same things. I mean, like I say, when I first watched that video of Tommy in 2017, he had been saying all of the same things that I've been saying. I hadn't heard him before that, but yet I'm hearing him having the same thoughts that I have. And again, there's no saying, great minds think alike. Now, there's two things in particular that he claims that Kevin Samuels took from him, and that's, like I said, I disagree, because even though their message is somewhat similar, but there's more than enough difference to say that Kevin Samuels has his own thought. Now, the first thing he said that Kevin Samuels took from him is the phrase, you can't make this stuff up. Now, that's an entirely old phrase. And look, I'm 47, and I'm 2 years older than Tommy. I'm pretty sure I'm willing to bet good money that phrase was coined probably long before I was even born. So how can Tommy lay claim to that phrase, which I've heard so many people say? Matter of fact, I'll have to say the person I probably heard say that the most that I can think of is probably Alex Jones. I heard he says that all the time. So Tommy cannot claim that phrase. Of course, Kevin Samuel says that too. But then keep in mind that Kevin is, I believe he's 52, so he's older than both of us. He could have been saying that long before Tommy was. And he has, like I said, he has more years and more years of learning and more years of wisdom. So I'm pretty sure he has his own message. Now, the other thing that Tommy claims that Kevin Samuels took from him is the phrase high value male. Now, Tommy claims that he was talking to some female on one of his shows, and he told her that basically a nigga with money would not date her because of, I guess, because of her weight. Right? Now, Kevin Samuels, again, if you know what his definition of high value male is, it's far more extensive than just a nigga with money. Trust me, I think he has like 5 or 6 points on what makes a high value male. So again, to say that Kevin Samuels took that phrase from him based off of him, well, what he said, I would say is a tad, well, more than a tad ridiculous. Again, Kevin Samuels is 52. He's older than both of us. How do you know how long he's been saying high value? He could have been saying high value male 20 years ago, 15 years ago. He's just getting to the internet, what, the last 4 or 5 years or so. So again, it's possible for people to have the same thought patterns. Again, I mean, the same ideas. I mean, there's what, 300 million people just in America, so, or plus people in America. So if this type of idea comes along, I'm betting that thousands of people could have had ideas, just certain people act upon it. But beyond that, I don't even see a beef here. It's really not necessary. And really there is no beef, as I say, because Kevin Samuels never responded, which is good. Just let both guys do what they do, and this nonsense die down. Now, is there a time for war? Sure, there's a time for everything, as the Bible said. This ain't it. So beyond, like I said, I just don't see a really need for beef here. I think Tommy does have some point about certain people taking his material, but no, I don't think he has the grounds when it comes down to Kevin Samuels and his message. Again, both their message is more than enough dissimilar for them to be different. And again, they're going to overlap in crowd, but you look at the people who Kevin Samuels reached, he's dealing with the people who are trying to get to upper middle management, who are trying to ascend in corporate America. And that's a lot of his crowd. But anyway, just, like I said, I haven't heard anything since. So yeah, like this nonsense is just going away. So, but I just thought I would point that out, how easily beefs can start. And the last thing we need is this type of beef, especially when you have blacks who are trying to speak the truth on black issues and trying to help people truly, and not through victimhood, because neither one of these guys preaches victimhood, which is great. But anyway, y'all, no beef here. But I just thought I'd add my little 2 cents on this issue. Well, I guess hopefully non-issue. But anyway, y'all, as always, until next time.